We all know that when we are in an open field, the force of gravity and atmospheric pressure acts upon us. But there is a third force caused by photons which exerts a very minimum force. Even though this force is very less, it can be used for space transportation, known as solar sailing. But photons have no mass, so how can they have momentum? Even though photons don't contain any mass, they have energy. And according to Einstein, any particle that contains energy must have some momentum in them. Now, when these photons containing momentum hit an object and bounce back, it transfers the momentum into the object, causing the object to move and have a certain amount of acceleration. And this concept of conservation of momentum is used in solar sailing. Solar sailing is basically like how a sailboat works. A sailboat contains a sail, and when the air molecules or when hit it transfers the momentum into the sailboat. The sailboat then gains some acceleration and it helps it to travel from one place of the sea to another. The same phenomena is actually followed in solar sailing, but instead of air molecules, it's the photons, and instead of a sail made up of cloth, it is actually a reflective surface. But why does a solar sail require a reflective surface? Why can't we use a piece of cloth? It is very important for the solar sail to be a reflective surface. If the photons hit an object which is made up of a dark colored cloth, then the kinetic energy in the photon can convert into other forms of energy, which then can be absorbed by the material. But if the photons hit a reflective surface and bounce off it, the kinetic energy won't be converted into any other form of energy, and the transfer of momentum will take place in the form of kinetic energy. Okay, I understand this conservation of momentum and energy, but didn't you say that photons exert a very negligible force? So how can this force possibly move a big spacecraft? The force exerted by photons isn't a lot. It only exerts a force of 5 newtons on an 800 meter by 800 meter reflective surface situated at an Earth distance from the Sun. Solar sailing is not meant for spacecrafts to travel faster at a very short period of time. It is a constant and collective effect which over the time can be a potential for propelling spacecraft. Solar sailing isn't a new theory. It has been proposed back in the 1980s. It has also been used in the spacecraft Icarus back in 2010. The spacecraft only gained 100 meters per second in 6 months of its journey by using solar sailing. Solar sailing will play a big role in space exploration because not only does it use photons to propel itself forward, but it also cuts down the gross weight of the spacecraft. Maybe in a couple hundred years we might go to another star or maybe another galaxy using solar sailing.